We'll get to you in a second. No, I'm just kidding. This is Damion White across from me. We're here for another 52 Comms Mix-Up on the Just In Case You Were Wondering vlog. And you guys probably remember the format, but the way we'll do is two personal and professional questions. That doesn't make sense. Two professional questions about his job, about what he does for work. Then we'll do a personal question. And then we'll do a question about a cause or something he's passionate about. So, Damion, let's go ahead and get started. By the way, he's Damion_White on Twitter. Damion, correct?
Yep.
Got it. Cool. Make sure to follow him. So, anyway, we were talking just a minute ago about you've had an interesting professional track as far as like cities you've worked in and different careers, opportunities you've gone after. So, I won't try to explain it because I don't even remember them all. But walk us through it. It's interesting.
Sure. So I finished undergrad at Davidson in 2006, and short time after that, I traveled down to Atlanta and was working in corporate office for a retail company. And, we were blazing trails all across the country, opening up a lot of new stores in the Dallas area, the Houston area, Chicago. And when it came time to open the LA store, I had some contacts out on the West Coast that I had been, wanting to meet and have a chance to work with that were in music. At that time, I was pursuing a career in hip-hop and rap, and, I was producing as well. So I took that opportunity to move to LA. So I went from Atlanta to LA in early '07 and worked on music and did some videos, some that got picked up pretty well. I did a remix of Katy Perry's "I Kissed a Girl."
Oh, yeah?
That got picked up by Perez Hilton. So it was on PerezHilton.com.
Nice.
Yeah, and
we'll find that link and put it on
yeah,
the video.
at this point, it's the video's been viewed 3.5 million times
Wow.
Across the web. The first day we posted it was 112,000 views, top viewed on YouTube, but they shut us down. And to this day, I attribute that to Katy Perry going from number 3. I Kissed a Girl had fallen to number 3 on iTunes, and then within several days of us putting out this video, I Kissed a Girl had gone back to number 1 on iTunes. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But anyway, long story short, so needless to say, at that point I was keeping some day jobs. I actually worked for a search marketing firm in LA for a short time. And but my primary focus was on the music, so I had made couple more moves shortly thereafter, and I was in Las Vegas for a while. Then I was in Austin. Then I ventured to Panama City Beach, back to Austin, and now I'm back in Panama City Beach. So I'm on a nationwide tour of sorts, I think.
Yeah, keep watching for Damion too. He was freestyling during the week at Blog World, and it was really good. To be honest with you, it was pretty awesome. So all right, so bookit.com.
Yep.
You work there. You're the kind of the lone social media guy. You're kind of managing all those different channels for them. Talk to me about how that works for you there, and also tell people what bookit.com is and what you do.
Sure. Bookit.com is a online travel agency. Not much different from your Expedia or Hotwire Orbitz. But one distinction that kind of separates us is we're privately held. We're family owned and operated, and they've been around for 11 years now. And basically, where other companies focus on many destinations and any hotel,
right.
We focus more on leisure and vacation destinations. So we're very heavy in the Caribbean, very heavy in Cancun and Hawaii, and some spots in Central and South America as well. So I think the biggest thing for us is definitely that we're not uber corporate, but one of our core values is that we definitely don't mind playing amongst the big boys.
Right. So give me an example of how you engage with customers through social, or how does that work, or bloggers, or what you guys are doing.
Sure. Well, we work with an agency, and they do some of our blog outreach.
Right.
Our primary target audience is mostly moms, right, and mom bloggers, the stay-at-home moms who are kind of patrolling the internet for a good deal on,
right,
in this case, vacations, obviously, but something big for the family to do.
Right.
And each year, a lot of our guests are planning their vacations, and they come to us because we offer really competitive rates. And one thing I didn't get into as to how we do that is, unlike other online travel agencies, another distinction is we have market managers on the ground in each of our destinations.
Okay.
So if you book a hotel through Bookit.com in Myrtle Beach, that there's a representative of Bookit.com who is going into these hotels and meeting with their executive teams and general managers and such. And so.
From a social perspective, so you guys are out there engaging. Are the market managers doing it too, or is it kind of you managing the social pieces of it? Or
well, yeah, at this point it is. And so basically, what I was getting to is, through all of that activity, we funnel it all back through the corporate office and through the one source. And now, so basically, our hugest level of engagement is on our Facebook fan page.
Right.
Just this month, we've grown from 29,000 fans to 70,000 fans.
Wow.
And that's been along with a promotion that we were running that has kind of gotten some great coverage and picked up pace. But overall, we're in the necessary channels. We have a pretty heavy presence on YouTube as well. We do word of mouth videos with our hotel partners, where we send a team in and they get some great footage of actual guests while they're on site, and they get they review our services and they review the hotel partners as well. So we see a lot of traffic driven by YouTube, and Facebook and Twitter have really accelerated for us since the beginning of this year.
Cool. Very, very interesting. I have to check the YouTube channel out for sure. Those sound like interesting videos. Okay, you were just telling me a minute ago that when you were in college, you said at the first answer that you graduated from Davidson in '06, but in '02 you were playing on their basketball team in the NCAA tournament, right?
That's right.
So explain that to us. Tell us about that.
Sure. Well, I did a year of prep up in Massachusetts. I went to Phillips Academy in Andover. I was 17 when I graduated high school. Played basketball for my dad.
Right.
So if I sneezed on the court, I was coming to the bench. I mean, so I was a starter. I was a contributor. But I'll put it to you this way: there were various coaches that had relationships with my dad and with me through camps or whatever, and several of them recruited me to leave my dad and come play for them at other area schools or private schools in my hometown of Charlotte. And and they would all say, you can come over here and you can shoot every time, average 30 points a game, So anyway, but it was a valuable experience playing for my dad, and we were ranked in the top 10 nationally my junior year.
Wow.
But so coming out of Andover, I had whittled down my choices to Duke and UNC Charlotte, and Duke was going to give me an opportunity to walk on, and this was the year they won the national championship. So I would have been a member of the defending national championship, champion Duke Blue Devil team. But it just didn't work out that way. So I ended up at Davidson, and I ended up walking on there and actually got some good minutes, and we ended up a 13 seed that season and played Ohio State. Hi, Chuck. And they were
Chuck Heeman over here, quite a Buckeyes fan.
And they were 4 seed. They actually I remember that team. They had Brian Brown, who was a player out of New York City that I had also played against while in high school.
Yeah.
And he went for 34 on us, but we ended up losing by 5. And I was actually on the floor in the last minutes of that game, playing defensive minutes.
That's an amazing experience. That's very, very cool. Okay, the last question of these interviews is always about a cause or something you're passionate about. Can be charity related, doesn't have to be. So what do you got there?
I don't think it's a charity per se, but I think my cause overall, and something I set out and started in college, and actually is a reason why I got into doing music, was to affect social change. And my central focus is education. I come from a line of educators. My grandmother and grandfather and my father are all educators. And so,
cool.
People expected me to fall in line with that, but I didn't, because I was going to take a different route that ultimately would lead to giving me the potential to affect more change. So,
very cool. Thanks for taking the time, Damion. Great
thanks
talking
for
with
having
you.
me.
And we're gonna go look for that video now on Pro Sultan's blog. So, all right, man.
It is a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/KHAK Black, and you'll find the Katy Perry video there.
Awesome. We'll be putting that on this blog post too. Thanks, Damion.
Yeah, thanks.